like that. That is so much easier too than sticking a damn drill on it. And where'd that one go that you did? Oh, right here. Hell, a lot more even than mine, but still. Oh, that's so much easier. See, we dicked around for a while. And I already now completely changed everything about the way I weld, I think, roughly. And they're not pretty, but they're like 500 times better looking than they were immediately. And I'm not having the blow through issues, I'm not having any of that. I totally went about it the wrong way. And there goes the same thing that I was saying. YouTube is great to learn off of, but sometimes you need someone right there with you to tell you what you're doing wrong. The majority of stuff, like body work and stuff, you can pick that up off the internet because it's a finesse you pick up and you learn, or you get into. But with welding, I create those blowouts and I create all that problem, and every blowout I have to turn around and then refill it, when if you knock down filler low, that's not a problem. It's not like you're trying to weld something. Especially when you have a blowout and then you try to fill it and you blow it out even more, and then you try to fill it again, you blow it out even more, and just say fuck it, cut the whole section out and put a new plate in. That's why that plate down there turned out so big. Yeah, that was totally off camera. But yeah, I mean, you can see these, like, I have no clue, because there's another layer of metal back behind it, and then you can't pinch this metal down to it, so you have to fill weld it. Right. Which, see, those are the horrible ones. Those are the bad ones. The dip gap. Yeah. So I ended up putting a piece of metal in there and welding the piece of metal on each side. Yeah. And just said, screw it. Yeah. You'll never see any of it, so no, it's no big deal.
It's okay. You're just
I just need it to be structural. Structural. And it is. Oh, and we're not going with FRA seats. All the local places went from $300 a pair to $500 a pair overnight. Yeah, that's. I guess they noticed, like eBay, they've always been $500, and now all the local places now want $500. I can get into a set of bucket seats for less than that. So I'm gonna you can get the narrow ones. I found a place that have, I think they're 10 1/4 backrest instead of the 12-inch backrest that I slide around in the seat. So we'll probably order those soon because we need to start dealing with all this. But I'm gonna clean up this back, and then we're gonna try to weld some of this stuff. I'll probably make him weld the left-handed, and I'll weld the right-handed because he is left-handed. Or you weld right-handed, don't you?
I'm a switch hitter.
Well, that's what I'm learning how to left-handed. Switch hand again, stroke.
Dirty.
Oh, it's dirty as shit in that corner. Say what?
I googled it.
I heard it.
That's not bad. Give me some more water.
So what we were talking about was all throughout the welds that I've done so far, there's so many curves and angles and stuff. You don't have a problem with when you start that weld and move down that 1 inch, the metal moving. Well, that's a long flat piece. Didn't even think about it. As I was working and playing around with it, the metal was lifting. So by the time I got like halfway through, the metal was lifted, and then there was a gap, and then you couldn't beat it back down. So I'm an idiot. Yeah, I need to spot weld. I'll just spot weld every inch and then go back through and re-weld. It actually would probably make it a little bit easier to start and stop, because I see my starts, I see my stops.
Because you do both ends on each
Yeah,
weld.
I think and then I wouldn't have booger spots like that. But luckily, I don't think in any of this spot I have to weld over rust. That was fun, right in that corner.
Rust is hard to work.
I was welding over top of it. I got it to weld, but it just blow back. That's why that one section blew back, which I'm not going to fix it. It'll have a box built right there. So the rigidity will come from the roll cage box.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah. But he's getting ready to have to leave, so we're going to go over a bunch more stuff off camera just because it is easier not having the cameras in the way while we're walking around. He's giving me pointers. Yeah, so I'll get back. Stay tuned for more.
Again, definitely not the prettiest. That was his, obviously. Ugly, ugly. Well, he did those two. But you can see how much shit is underneath it. Then I came back through these. I had a really big issue with that one. I have no idea why. There was really something underneath it that kept catching fire. And then that one. Some of those. So, not perfect. But definitely not all full of a ton of filler like the other ones. So yeah, not bad I guess, considering how, I mean you can see all the shit that's coming out of it, how contaminated the back side of the metal is.
Okay, so it totally clicked what you were saying, Solar Egg. You said a couple things explaining about the tungsten grinding, and I totally didn't get it. I thought I did because I took my point like this and then shaped it like this. I showed my brother what I was doing, and that's when you see me right after that sharpen my first one. But what he did is, he's like, no, you're doing it completely wrong. And he's like, a guy commented trying to explain it to you, and he's like, I guess you didn't get it. He grabs that tungsten, he sticks it up in there, and he starts turning it with his hand. And he shows me that long point he put on it, and it clicked. And then like, even the first time, like I'm gonna need a lot more practice. But the first time welding it the way he showed me how to weld it, like that arc starts, it's perfect, and it gives you a tiny little pull. I was having problems with, that point like that. The heat wasn't, it was just not doing what I thought it would do, and now it does what I think it'll do. I totally misunderstood what you said, and it wasn't what you said, because my brother fully understood what you said. Just, I'm not a welder, I guess. I don't know. Sometimes I draw blanks and think, aha, and then I do it wrong. So, but from this point, B-pillar, you can't see, B-pillar all the way back is done, at least for now. The reason I say for now is because obviously there's some stuff going to be going on back here that I don't know what, but the stitch welding is done. I may stitch weld the back side of the tower, or the wheel well. I don't know yet. But I am going to go ahead and wait till I can probably get a MIG to do that. Now, it doesn't really matter when I do that. It honestly doesn't, because if I, clean the surface up, weld it, I can respray it. It's not a big deal. That is totally not a problem. I wanted to get the majority of all this so that we can get started on the next episode. Hopefully tomorrow night we'll be recording it. Marina and I are going to get out here and tackle this whole dash. Like, we have got to do something with that dash. Obviously, some stuff is kind of going to stay, but we need to clear space because probably next weekend or some shit like that, we are going to pick up the tubing bender, and we're going to look into getting all the tubing, or at least a couple sticks of the tubing, to kind of start playing with it and figuring out where the main hoop's going to go, where the front bars are going to go, because I know where they need to go, because I need a certain placement so that center bar that I have to put connecting the two A-pillar bars, I need that bar in pseudo of a certain position to use the factory steering rack and the mounts for the factory steering rack, because I'll cut those off, put them up into the bar, and I'll kind of do like half tubes, I guess you could call it, and weld those to the roll cage tubes, but then the rack will still bolt up and down like the factory one. I don't want to run an aftermarket because I want turn signals, I want my wipers, I want all that still on the steering column. So, and I guess I could probably move that over to an aftermarket one, but it's just easier. I have it, it's in the car, there's no difference. The interior is going to cover it because I want the interior right there, so we're good there. But we'll have to tackle all that in the next episode. So this was kind of a weird episode because I had Jeremy from BAFabricator come down and help me. Remember, his channel is just starting. I don't even know if he has any videos yet. We've been kind of coaching him through the video making process. He is more of a fabricator than a computer guy. I'm more of a computer guy than a fabricator, so we're kind of working back and forth. But I'm going to stop blabbing. I'm going to go inside. It is getting ready to completely open up and start pouring. So, yeah. Thank you all for watching. It was a happy episode. Turned into a happy episode. Y'all have a great day. Or evening. Or whatever.
Well, folks, it's time to kick it old school.